Hello everybody, Smoky Smokes here yet again with a pipe tobacco review. I say yet again, but actually it's been over a year since my last pipe tobacco review has aired, if you will, on this channel. This is Crown Achievement. I believe it's by Lane Limited. For some reason my pouch does not say its title. It doesn't say the brand anyway, it just says Crown Achievement on it. Got this years, it must have been 6-7 years ago I got this pouch, but kept it fresh for a very long time. I think occasionally it would have dried out, or maybe it dried out once or twice and I rehydrated it. It's slightly dry, it could be a little more moist, but I'm not really concerned. It's an English blend, I believe. It sort of smells like one. It is made of Latakia, obviously. It says it has perique, Turkish, as well as Virginias in it. It does not say whether they are yellow or red Virginias, just says Virginias. Doesn't matter too much. A very interesting choice of tobaccos to put into this tobacco, I would say. So I'm just going to pack it in there, do a little twirl, make sure it's not too tight, because I have a tendency to always make my bowls of tobacco way too tight. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to re-tamp it down after I light it. That's the method I use. Probably should have brought my zip out here because it's a nice drizzly evening here in Colorado. Once again, it's actually pretty chilly, which is weird because we live in a desert climate here in Colorado. If you're not familiar with desert-like climates, they get very, very cold when the sun goes down. And I know this tobacco is slightly dry, but at least I won't have to deal with too much gurgling or moisture, which I can't stand because this pipe does not have a filter in it. Interesting, right away. I'm not getting too much of it. I think I have to relight it and work at it a little bit, but it tastes like a typical English blend so far. I know I'm puffing on it a lot, but I'm trying to get it started. Tamp it down just a little bit, nice and light, not too much. It's been a long time since I've had an English blend or something that really tastes smoky. Wow, this is very complex. So I did a review of this years and years ago, back when the channel was newer. But I said this in a previous video, I believe. I don't know if I uploaded it by now, but YouTube deleted a lot of my videos because I was putting links of the tobaccos, links to the stores where you could get the tobaccos from in the descriptions of those videos, and apparently I wasn't supposed to do that, so they deleted those videos. So this is on the list of like the dozen or so tobaccos I have to re-review. I got like almost 2 dozen, I think, actually. I literally went through every single one of my videos and all of the tobacco. I have these 2 big old mason jars, these giant mason jars where I have all my tobaccos in. One's got all the English blends, one's got all the aromatics and non-aromatics. And I just went through each one and searched up with Control F through all of the videos I've uploaded, and whichever ones did not appear, I wrote those down, and those are the ones I'm going to review. This is the first one I'm reviewing off that list. I was thinking because the tobacco's probably on the drier side, it's keeping lit. I haven't relit it in like a minute or so, even though it's pretty cold, windy, and drizzly out right now. But just the way I like it, by the way. This way I'm in a park and no one's around. It's nice. Not that I don't like people, I really love people, actually. It's just, you know, I don't want to make a video and like try to pretend I'm not talking to myself, people watching me and stuff. I love it when people watch me when the video is finished. I don't like people watching me during the creation of the video. It's very strange, backwards logic, I know, but it's just how it is. know if I described how the tobacco even tastes much yet. So very complex. It definitely has a typical English blend flavor to it. It's not as strange as it sounds based on the ingredients that are in it. Perique is very spicy. You usually don't see it in tobacco. It's very rare. I don't find perique tobaccos very often. There's also Turkish or Orientals, whatever you want to call those. Those have a very floral taste to them. They have like a flowery, perfumey. I am getting the floraliness to it. I'm definitely tasting that. It's almost like an after. You get it at the tip of your tongue. It's almost like a flowery feeling. Not only a flowery flavor, it just feels like it feels like perfume, as weird as that sounds. But I like it in an odd way. And I'm puffing on this a lot, too. A lot of you probably already noticed that. Some of you may have already commented that. I know, I tend to smoke really fast. I wish I smoked slower. I don't know what it is. I can't help myself. If I have nothing else to do, if I have nobody to talk to, I just puff and puff and puff and puff until it's gone. Which is not good, because you can get a nicotine buzz from that, which is unpleasant. It's not good for you. You're supposed to take your time when you smoke. Not much tongue bite at all in this one, but perique is not very tongue bitey. Turkish is not very hot either. Latakia is not very hot either. If anything, Virginia's would cause tongue bite. But that's just one ingredient of the 4 main tobaccos that they say are in here. So the Virginias, if anything, they're sweetening it up just a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of floral and spicy. I'm getting a little bit of the perique too, and it's not that sweet to me. There's just a hint of sweetness, but think of like flowery, spicy, smoky from the Latakia. Like just hints of like a perfumey floral note and a hint of a spice to it on top of a smoky base, I guess, is how I would describe this. Starting to get some moisture. Ugh. A very, very interesting, good English blend. It's been a long time since I've had an English blend. Normally I like to have English blends during the winter and when it's cold and chilly out. That's when I crave the darker, smokier, more charcoal-y, campfire-like flavor that the English blends tend to have, and I really like that about them. I love the way they smell, but not everybody likes the way they smell. When it's people who are not really into pipes or tobacco in general, they smell an English one, and they baby out and start coughing. Whatever. But aromatics, a lot of people really love. Even people who don't care for tobacco or don't smoke tobacco, even people who find tobacco gross, often like, whoa, that smells really good when you're smoking a certain aromatic tobacco. It's interesting. I love English blends, but they're definitely strong. Okay, I'm sorry for calling anyone babies for thinking they taste strong. It's only slightly breezy, but I hope it's not causing too much trouble in the microphone of the camera I'm using right now, my phone. Don't know if any of you noticed this, but I compress the audio of my videos, meaning I raise up the volume of the quiet parts to be closer to the volume of the louder parts, so you can hear it a little bit easier. Like, you know, in movies where you're watching it, it's a quiet scene, you gotta turn up the volume, and something, an explosion or something happens, and it's super loud, and you gotta turn it all the way back down right away. Compression is a way of avoiding that. You bring up the volume of the quieter parts, so if I start whispering and my voice starts getting really quiet, or something like that, you don't have to ease in or turn up your volume. The volume already adjusts itself. So I hope that's helpful. Hopefully that makes it a little easier to hear over the wind if that's happening. I still haven't relit it yet. doing the, I don't know what the name of the trick to it is, but you cover up most of the bowl with your fingers and you draw on it. Which what that does is it creates almost a stronger suction, which brings in more oxygen, which helps light up or reignite the embers in there. See that? You got a big old puff of smoke without even using a lighter again. I just use my fingers. Use that trick all the time. Feel free to use that one if you haven't heard of it. Also, smoke's relatively cool too. This is a rustic bowl, by the way, which means it's etched a little bit. There's some carving work done on there, regardless of, I don't know what the method they use for this Capri Warlock Church Warden, but rustic, they tend to smoke slightly cooler because your fingers are touching the edges of the bowl, not so much making clean contact with the bowl, not as much contact with the bowl. It's smoking relatively cool. It's slightly hot. Like if I really clench down on it, it kind of heats up my hand. It feels like it's burning a little bit, but it's totally a reasonable heat, I think. So it's, but again, most English blends tend to smoke very cool, which is another thing that's really nice about them. Yeah. It's been about 10 minutes of me smoking. I've been smoking it pretty fast too, so it's starting to get almost an ashy flavor to it. It should last long. Most bowls of tobacco are supposed to last you closer to like 45 minutes in my experience, but I'm smoking this pretty fast. And there is some ash on the top, so maybe if I just drop that out. That helped a little bit. I guess the whole speed thing of smoking tobacco doesn't damage the review too much, because I'm just trying to tell you what it tastes like, so I guess the only one getting hurt is me by doing that, so. I'm trying to get a room note on this guy. It smells nice. It smells like an English blend. I don't know how else to say, or what else to call it. So, this is a very good English blend, but it's not as interesting tasting as I thought it would be. It's slightly underwhelming. It also is possible because I've had this tobacco for years and years and years. It's been sitting in my mason jar for so long, probably like 6 years at the most. The flavors have probably mellowed out a bit. Tobacco tends to get smoother and mellows out, even after just a year of leaving it in its pouch or its tin or however it's packaged. So that's possible. It's still really good. It tastes like a really good, mellow English blend with just a hint of a spice to it and a hint of floralness to it. But if you were to hand this to someone, here's an English blend, somebody who is familiar with pipe tobaccos and they have English blends normally, and you gave this to them, they smoked it, they'd probably be like, oh, it's pretty good. They wouldn't think it's that interesting. It just tastes like a normal, well-done English blend. That's pretty much it. I think I bought this long ago. I must have bought it. I always read the ingredients, obviously, before I buy a tobacco, but I must have bought this one because I was interested in the ingredients. Perique and Turkish. Orientals. What do you call it? Orientals and perique in an English blend. That's an odd combination. I don't see that very often. But it tastes good. It works. It's interesting. It's not what I would smoke all the time. But it's good. I'm starting to get a slight nicotine buzz. It's been a little over 13 minutes of me going smoking really quickly, which I don't advise you do. That's just something that's a bad habit of mine I'm trying to break. So I'm going to call it quits for now. But this was good. I liked it. I will smoke it again sometime in the near future, but I definitely would. There's definitely other English blends I've had that I would prefer. Maybe when winter rolls around, I'll give this another go. Again, English blends are my jam, especially when it's cold. Even like a day like this, it's chilly. Man, I feel it must be like 60 degrees or so. It's a little windy, rainy. English blends are nice for that. The weather makes me select what I want to smoke in the moment. When it's like hot, I typically don't like smoking when it's hot out. I want smoke in my mouth when I don't know. But when night rolls around and things cool down a little bit, I'll grab an aromatic or something most of the time. Those are usually my go-tos, but I still love English blends. They're very robust and complex. Requires a very sophisticated palate to appreciate an English blend, I would say. Not that there's anything wrong with you if you don't appreciate them. That's fine. Everyone's got their own preference. I really don't care. Those are my 2 cents on it. So yeah, crown achievement. Good. Is it a crown achievement? I'd say if you really like it, yeah. But me personally, there's other tobaccos you can try. It's slightly interesting, but it's not interesting enough for me to say this is so strange and bizarre and great. You have to try it. It's just it's just a slightly different English blend. If you like trying all different kinds of English blends, by all means, give this one a shot. It's going to be a little bit different from what you're used to. But I like it. It's good. It's very well done. Very consistent flavor. It burned nicely. It held on. Even though it was slightly dry, that might have contributed to the fact that it consistently burned the whole way through. But I like it. I'm just going to keep repeating myself over and over again if I continue this video, so I'm going to stop it right there. Thanks for watching. Got more videos coming your way. I'm going to try to upload weekly on a Friday evenings. So, thanks.